So in the fall of 1984, I transferred to UC Berkeley from the University of Aix-Marseille, where I spent a boondoggle semester studying existentialism, hitchhiking across Corsica, and denying my Americanism. Truly. I walked through Berkeley's Sather gates and into the foreign language department to declare my major, French literature. I'd hoped to be a business major, of course, but sadly the classes that I took in France, Voltaire, Proust, Balzac, the art and complexity of French cinema, there was something along the lines of like the importance of wine and culture. They weren't recognizable or transferable to the Berkeley Haas School of Business. Okay, but there was a silver lining of being a French major. Is that the first thing that I saw when I walked into Dwinelle Hall was a poster for AIESEC. And it was written, of course, in French. Want to work abroad? Join us for an AIESEC meeting tonight. And that is how my AIESEC experience began. Honestly, I cannot remember exactly what I did for AIESEC the first semester, but I do know that my new AIESEC friends and I spent a ton of time cold calling companies all over the Bay Area. From the rotary dial, I mean, remember that, honestly, rotary dial. In the tiny AIESEC office. I mean, remember, let's be honest, we did not have email or cell phones those days. You all have it very easy. When we exhausted our parents' business contacts, we opened the phone book and called companies that seemed like cool places to work. Dreyer's Ice Cream. Okay, no pun intended, cool, Dreyer's Ice Cream. But Levi's, The Gap, we cut classes to meet with the HR representatives at companies in downtown Oakland and in San Francisco. We stayed up late at night writing letters on our brother typewriters. We've talked about typewriters tonight. We were determined to raise traineeships. Why? So that we could go abroad after graduation. My senior year, I ran marketing for Berkeley, the Berkeley chapter, the Berkeley LC. I led a few marketing sessions at regional and national meetings, and that is where I learned the expression, fake it till you make it. I remember running one marketing strategy session where the conversation turned to the focus on how to best handle a business meeting when you were hungover. Shrewd advice came from an attendee who said, "Oh, that's easy. Just have another beer." It's actually kind of funny the things we remember 30 years later. I did attend Congress in Sweden the spring of 1986 as a representative for South Africa, who was actually banned from entering Scandinavia because of apartheid. Funny, I didn't actually think about what it meant if I represented South Africa. Did that mean that I agreed with their politics? No, it didn't matter. I could go abroad, so I went. Never mind that I missed my zoology final exam, and my GPA was hovering just above acceptable for graduation. I was inspired, I was engaged, I was promoting international business because I was fully engaged in AIESEC. For me, AIESEC was about being around smart, open-minded people, connecting to the local business community, making international friends, and yes, learning to maintain a thread of coherence and responsibility while consuming copious amounts of alcoholic beverages and getting little to no sleep. Little did I know how valuable this experience would be, how these phone calls and meetings and late-night Jose Cuervo brainstorming sessions would train me for the real world. I learned the importance of persistence and stamina, the finesse of fundraising, and the invaluable art of the 2-minute elevator speech. After graduation, I spent 9 months on a traineeship in Tokyo, selling educational materials to teachers in remote suburbs. Yeah, it wasn't exactly the marketing job I thought I had secured, but hey, I was working and living in Japan, learning Japanese, singing karaoke, eating sushi, and drinking sake. I attribute my love for the international world and my stubborn persistence in marketing and fundraising to my AIESEC experience. My time abroad with AIESEC inspired me to earn an international MBA at Thunderbird, and led me to work and live abroad in France, Luxembourg, and Italy. And it was definitely my experience with AIESEC that gave me the confidence to be adventuresome and to take chances in my career and my personal life. I've spent the last 6 years making documentary films about women and the importance of diversity in business. It's actually crazy that we still need to have this discussion about gender parity in 2016, and that the number of women in fields like tech have actually diminished since the mid-'80s. I would have thought that we'd be much further along by now. Thinking back to my time with AIESEC in the mid-'80s, it occurs to me that I was never aware of a gender disparity in the organization, right? Both men and women held high positions in local, national, and international offices. We all worked together with respect and enthusiasm. Okay, let's be honest, Trump and Billy Bush, behavior would never have been tolerated back then, right? I'm just saying. I think all of us are incredibly fortunate to be involved in AIESEC, an organization that taught us leadership, networking, strategic thinking skills. But I believe that the most valuable, sorry, hang on. There we go. The most valuable thing that AIESEC instilled in me, and likely many of you, is understanding the importance of acceptance and empathy. Talked about empathy earlier tonight. Not just tolerating diversity, but truly embracing it. This is what the world needs more of. This is what sets great leaders apart. This is what makes a company inclusive and highly successful. Diversity is one thing, inclusion is another. What would the world be like if every company and organization were founded on the principles of acceptance and empathy? So even now as a filmmaker, my AIESEC experience serves me as I speak at companies like Google, Microsoft, MasterCard, Comcast. As part of the Department of State's American Film Showcase, I'll take Code documentary to the US embassies of Peru, Estonia, Cambodia, Czech Republic. When I occasionally feel a pang of imposter syndrome, how many people know what that is? Yeah. I draw from my AIESEC experience, and I focus on what is important: being in the moment, connecting with people, and learning from others. I'm really grateful to be here tonight. Thank you for asking me. I'm grateful to be reconnected with AIESEC. I hope to become more involved and continue to be involved. And I also want to tell you that my producer on Code documentary was a fellow Berkeley classmate and AIESEC, Stacy Hartman, and I need to give a shout out to her. Thank you very much.